Humanity had reached the Jotel Dominion 3 years prior, after stumbling through space like evolutionary infants with shiny toys and impulsive hope. When our exploration fleet drifted into their territory, we expected curiosity. Instead, we found a civilization older than our first civilizations by tens of thousands of years, composed of insectoid titans wrapped in silken exoskeleton plates that shimmered with iridescent colors. Their language was layered clicks and hums, their politics complex as any hive structure could be. And they did not trust us. Still a fragile peace held. A trade agreement here, a minor scientific exchange there. Small gestures to prove neither side wanted annihilation yet. Then came the incident on the asteroid colony Verdant 6. An explosion, 3 dead Jotel envoys, 1,000 rumors. We insisted it was an accident. The Jotel believed we had killed their representatives deliberately. War loomed like a shadow ready to swallow the stars. So the United Earth Coalition sent me. Diplomatic envoy Dr. Elias Cade. Not a soldier. Not a spy. Just a linguist and negotiator who still woke from nightmares of graduate exams. My mission was to meet the Queen herself, Queen Zerthal, mother of the Dominion, whose consciousness spanned millions of drones and thousands of brood clusters. If I miscommunicated even a single syllable, I could be starting a war for an entire planet. No pressure. The translator drone hovered beside me as we entered the Queen's palace, its silver casing reflecting the towering architecture. Colossal organic spires carved from living bone-like resin, flowing shapes and arches like a cathedral designed by an alien coral reef. The ambient hum of a billion tiny wings filled the air like wind over a deep chasm. Remember, the drone chirped as we approached the audience chamber. Jotel negotiation customs. Do not turn your back, do not make sudden noises, and under no circumstance break eye contact until dismissed. Right, I murmured. So basically, don't breathe too confidently. You will do fine, doctor, it said, then added after a pause. Statistically speaking. The audience chamber doors opened slowly. I stepped into a vast hall illuminated by bioluminescent vines spiraling across the ceiling like constellations. At its center, beneath a pulsating cocoon-like structure suspended in crystalline sap, sat Queen Zerthal. She was enormous. Even sitting, she towered above me, tall as 2 humans stacked, her carapace gleaming like oil-slick armor. 6 arms folded gracefully in patterns of authority, mandibles glittering with gold filigree, and eyes. Vast, multifaceted pools of opal fire. When she looked at me, I felt every instinct in my body scream to kneel, hide, or run. Instead I bowed. I offer peace, I said, voice steadier than I expected. And explanations. Her head tilted, antennae curling like question marks. We accept your presence, human Elias Cade, she intoned, her voice layered. One low rumble, one chittering hum, one whisper like silk tearing in a void. Speak. But then the doors closed behind me. Metal locking bars slid into place. And the Queen's closest guards, a ring of armored drones with blades for arms, formed a tight circle around me. My stomach sank cold as Europa ice. This was no standard diplomatic reception. Middle. You come, Queen Zerthal said slowly, her voice echoing, to plead innocence for Verdant 6. To say the deaths of our envoys were accident. It was an accident, I replied. Our investigation. Your investigation, she interrupted. Your species claims. But trust is not grown like fungus in warm dark. Trust is earned through blood or proof. Sometimes both. I swallowed. Then what do you want from me? A truth ritual. My translator drone beeped nervously. Warning. Unknown diplomatic term. One of the guards snapped its blade arm near it, silencing the drone. Queen Zerthal lifted a hand and with a fluid motion, commanded the guards to hold. A truth ritual, she repeated. Ancient. Binding. Painful. My throat tightened. Painful. To ensure you do not lie. Silence followed, thick and absolute. Even the distant hum of wings felt muted. What happens if I refuse? Yes. Refusal implies guilt. Guilt implies war. Your homeworld burns. She calmly brushed a strand of shimmering silk from her arm. Participants rarely die. Rarely. Some are delicate. I was starting to feel very delicate. Before I could speak, the floor beneath me shifted. Threads of glowing resin slithered like vines, curling around my wrists and ankles, lifting me gently but firmly until I hovered inches above the floor. Dr. Cade. The translator drone buzzed. Recommendation: remain calm. Heart rate spike detected. Panic may cause. A sharp click from a guard cut it off again. The Queen extended a thin, barbed appendage, dripping with translucent fluid that shimmered like molten crystal. This will enter your neural pathways, she explained. It will bind our minds. You will experience our judgment. If deceit lies in you, the bond will tear you apart. My voice croaked out. And if there is no deceit, then you leave alive. And peace breathes another dawn. There was no choice, not truly. Humanity's future outweighed my life. He nodded. Do it. The appendage descended. Cold fire shot through me as it pierced the back of my neck, burrowing into my nerves like liquid lightning. My body convulsed, but the resin restraints held me still. Then suddenly, I wasn't in my body at all. I stood in a vast shimmering hive corridor that stretched into infinity, covered in fractal patterns. Dripping walls pulsed with luminous veins. Chittering chorus echoed around me. A mental landscape. Queen Zerthal's consciousness. Human, her voice boomed from everywhere and nowhere. Your memories open like broken shells. Show the moment. I saw it, the explosion on Verdant 6, unfolding around me like a holographic nightmare. I saw the Jetel envoys smiling, mandibles clicking politely. I saw the human engineers talking excitedly about atmospheric processors. Flare. Shockwave. Freams. Carapaces shattered like glass. I felt guilt burn anew. I had studied every second of this footage. But experiencing it like this, raw, visceral, felt like reliving trauma I had never personally endured. It was a malfunction, I whispered. A power surge in the regulator. Show the doubt. The scene rewound, zoomed. A technician adjusting settings. A brief flash of anger on his face overheard in audio logs later. Resentment toward Jetel bargaining tactics. The tiniest possibility he might have sabotaged it. My gut twisted. Even I had questioned it, briefly, in the darkest hours. The Queen's voice slithered through the memory. You believed sabotage possible. I questioned it, I admitted. But questioning isn't truth. The investigation proved. Human investigations mean nothing in the hive of truth, she thundered. Only your heart's belief. Suddenly I was drowning in emotion, not my own. Grief so ancient it felt fossilized. Rage that spanned centuries. Memories of other species who had lied, betrayed, poisoned negotiation and brought war to the hive. I felt the weight of an entire civilization's scars. And beneath it, fear. The Jetel were afraid of extinction. Afraid of us. Afraid because humanity spread fast and burned bright, like wildfire in oxygen-rich air. You fear us, I said softly. You think we will become what killed your old enemies. Silence. Then a tremor rippled through the hive vision. You are unpredictable, fragile, and fragile things lash out. So this ritual isn't just about truth. It's about whether you can trust us. It is about whether you can survive knowing us. Then everything shattered into shards of light. I collapsed back into my physical body with a gasp, sweat pouring down my face, limbs trembling. The queen withdrew her barbed neural tendril, studying me with unreadable eyes. The guards watched. The drone hovered silently, not daring to speak. Finally, Queen Zerthel said, in a voice like slow thunder, "You did not lie. Your doubt was honest but not malicious. The deaths were tragic error, not war spark." I exhaled in relief so intense it bordered on laughter. But her mandibles twitched, not in anger, in contemplation. "Human Elias Cade," she said, "you endured the hive truth. Few off-world minds could. You may think the ritual ended, but it has changed you." She leaned close. I could see my reflection fractured across her compound eyes. Small, terrified, and yet still standing. "You have tasted collective sorrow, carried hive memory, shared pain no single human could comprehend. You are marked." I felt something like a faint echo buzzing deep in my mind. Presence. A whisper. Something left behind in the exchange. "What did you do to me?" I whispered. "We linked," she replied simply. "You carry shard of hive. 'Twill fade. Or deepen. Depends on the paths you walk." Fantastic. I might have an alien spiritual hitchhiker in my brain. But then she extended one arm, palm up, a gesture I recognized now as respect. "Peace stands," she declared. "Because you came alone. Because you faced truth. Because you did not run when doors closed." Slowly, shakily, I placed my hand in hers. Her touch was like warm stone. Ancient. Heavy with meaning. "Go, human envoy. Tell your people peace remains, but fragile." The doors opened. This time I walked out alive. Ending. My shuttle departed the Jotel world in silence. Stars spread across the viewport like diamond dust. The translator drone hovered softly beside me. "Dr. Cade," it chirped, "your neural readings show unusual residual synaptic resonance. Would you like medical?" "No," I murmured. "Not yet." Because I could still feel it, that faint hum. A whisper. Echoes of alien memory brushing my thoughts like curious wings. Not frightening. Not hostile. Just watching. Humanity had earned peace. But I had learned something bigger than diplomacy. Peace wasn't treaties, signatures, or polite speeches. Peace was surviving each other's truths. And after today, I knew truth far beyond human perspective. I had tasted the fear of an ancient empire and survived its judgment. As Earth's blue glow appeared ahead like a promise and a warning, I whispered to myself. When she closed the doors, she wasn't trapping me. She was testing whether I was worth letting back out. And I was no longer entirely sure I returned alone. Because in the quiet of my mind, faint as distant wings in endless dark, a voice breathed. "We see you, Elias Cade. And through you we will see your world." Peace existed for now. But the hive never truly sleeps. And neither, I suspected, would I.